Imagine if you're a young girl, you're kidnapped, forced into a life of servitude, giving up your body, selling your body so someone else can make money. You get arrested and you tell the police that you're not doing this because you want to, and they put you in jail and then brand you as a prostitute. What a hopeless situation to be in. Let's see how we do here. I'm at the Petro in Perrysburg, Ohio, and I decided today to have a little bit of biscuits and gravy. I haven't had biscuits and gravy in quite a while, so for those that are keeping track. Anyway, I wanted to talk today about a situation that I found myself in a while back, and I think it was a situation where there was a young girl that was being human trafficked, and I was at a McDonald's in Chillicothe, Ohio. I was in my truck out in the truck parking behind the store, and this girl came walking up, and she was very attractive. She had a little bit longer than shoulder length blonde hair, dishwater blonde, and I don't know, maybe 5'1", 5'2". She wasn't real tall, but she was young. I would say probably 15 or 16 at the most. And she walked up to my truck and she said, "Would you like some company?" And in the trucking world, we call those lot lizards. The media would call them prostitutes. But she just looked out of place, and I looked, and she came from a car, and it had a Mexican couple, and they had children, small children, like under 2 years old. I said, "No, that's, I don't want to die. I'm not saying this out loud, but that stuff will kill you." And she said, "Please just let me make some money." And I really felt bad for her, because this girl, I mean, who knows what type of abuse she was dealing with, after I left and she came back with no money. Because now we're seeing all this stuff with, the people coming across the border. This was way before that. Matter of fact, it's so long ago, I don't even remember what year it was. But I saw some videos and even some stuff on, might have been 60 Minutes. Anyway, there was a news program that covered it where these girls were being kidnapped. They find a girl that's vulnerable, or they kidnap her, whatever. They starve her, they beat her, they get her addicted to drugs. They would do whatever they had to do to get them to submit and be so scared of them that it was more terrifying to them to not perform, to not make money, and than it was to try and get away. This girl didn't look like she was addicted to drugs, but she was nervous that she wasn't making any money. Now, there's a double-edged sword to this thing too, because unfortunately, and I think it's getting better now, but probably there's thousands of towns that don't see it the way some areas are starting to see it, where they're realizing these girls have been kidnapped, they've been taken in by violent people, by people that are so low that they would take a beautiful girl and destroy her life to supplement their income. So I saw this young girl, 15, 16, probably 15, really beautiful girl, just beautiful. I don't know if she ran away, if she got kidnapped. In hindsight, if I could go back, unfortunately, we learn a lot of things after it's too late, but if I could go back in time, I would have took that girl into my truck and handed her a note, because I don't know if she's wearing a wire or whatever, and ask her, are you being held against your will? Do you want me to call the police? And I would have stuck around and told the police, this girl is not a prostitute, this girl is a slave, and if you arrest her as a prostitute, you're worse than the people that are taking care of her. I wish I could go back in time and change that and maybe save the little girl's life. I don't know. Biscuits and gravy. There are girls that really want to be with it, live that life. Who knows what drives somebody in a time of desperation to make money, but not all girls that are prostitutes are bad people. And I wish our law enforcement would start treating it as such. I know some areas are, some big cities, but you get some little Barney Fife out there somewhere, and I got me a prostitute, and can you imagine the hell? Can you imagine the hell of that, where you're kidnapped or taken in by people that beat you, starve you, abuse you, and then force you to give up your body so that they can make money? And people that do that, anybody that would do that to a girl, back in the 1800s, they'd take you out to a tree and string you up. And unfortunately, our country, we're too civilized to take care of people that don't deserve to be here. And anybody that would take a beautiful young woman and destroy her life so they could make money needs to be in a tree. They need to be hung up. We've lost our guts in this country. We got to be good, we got to be nice to people, but when somebody's doing that, they don't deserve nice. They need to go away, and we need to start taking care of people that do that kind of stuff. Even if they're just in a cell for the rest of their life. In Detroit, they were taken, they would catch people that were with these girls, and they would take their car. And one day I was driving in Detroit, and there was a really, really pretty girl, and it was cold. I mean, it was like single digits, and she's standing on a sidewalk. She was just dressed as cute as could be, but she had nowhere near enough clothes on, and she looked up at me and she went like this, let me in. And I'm like, the way she was dressed, she was obviously out trying to make money. And I told her no. I certainly would have let her climb in my truck and get warm, but if the cops would have come and saw me in the car with her in my truck, imagine if they took my truck and I had to go home and explain that to my wife. Oh yeah, this beautiful young woman was out on the sidewalk, and I told her it was okay to get in my truck, and the cops came and took my truck. There's no winning side to this thing unless the people that are causing the crime, that are taking advantage of the women, are allowed to do it. They get a good side out of it, but their only negative side is when that girl is used up and no longer useful to them. They have to figure out what to do with her, and then they have to find somebody else to take her place. That's the downside of that. So anyway, I hope that little girl found a way out of that situation. I hope those people, you know, got the justice they deserved. Eggs. Anyway, that's that. I hope you guys have a great day. Hit the like button, hit the subscribe if you want to. Alrighty. God bless. Have a good day. Bye-bye.